Good day, everybody, and welcome to the How We Got Here Genealogy Happy Hour. I'm Brian Nash, and today is basically Ask Me Anything. You have any brick walls that you're having problems with, or general genealogy questions you want answers to about your own family tree, or like I said, just general things in genealogy. Make sure you make a comment in the chat and let us know what question you might have. So again, welcome if you're watching here live. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. As I mentioned, beautiful Prince Edward Island. It's a beautiful day here today, a beautiful summer day. And yeah, if you're watching from somewhere else, let me know. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you drop in that you're watching it on the replay. And now, as always, if you have any questions, there's two ways. You can ask them directly in the chat, or you can use our there's a link you'll see I have as a pinned comment here in the chat, as well as it's right at the beginning in the description of the video, which I have on all my videos as a link to my general questionnaire form for people who have genealogy questions. It's a great place to ask questions, suggest possible topics for future videos and live streams. So yeah, just let me know what's going on and what questions you might have. I'm just going to test something, so you might hear an echo for a quick second. Okay, can everybody tell me, anybody that's watching, tell me how my audio is sounding today? Because I just like to know, sometimes I don't have the audio. I've been using a new mic, so I'm not sure how it's working. When I test it, it seems to work, but I don't get to listen while I'm on the live stream. So if there's any issues, let me know. Let's see here. So yeah, great. So again, welcome everybody. Just let me know what's going on, where you're watching from, and any questions you have. Sorry, I guess I sort of reviewed that all. There's also, you'll notice a poll that I have running here. That would be great if you have a chance to answer that poll. I would love to hear from you. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to be working on my own family tree while I'm waiting for some of the questions to come in, and anything you guys have that you want to ask, definitely go ahead and let me know. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to be working my own family tree. I was actually working on a few things earlier. It was more organization. I've been going through some of one of my four grandparents. I have a binder based on each of them, which I basically use to track some physical data from what I have. This is actually the document that sort of got me interested in family trees way back when. This is a old typewritten family tree of my grandfather, my mother's father's family. This was made in 1979, and it's a pretty in-depth record. It's actually where I first started getting interested in genealogy and family history was through reading that. So, what was it that got your first interest in genealogy and family history? Okay. Okay. So actually, let's like I said, I was sort of working on some of that and organizing some of that before I started the stream. That's been my project to get some of that information I have uh, into my records on, make sure I have those records all scanned, and also on the appropriate family tree websites where I keep my information. I primarily use Wikitree, and I use MyHeritage. I love the MyHeritage family tree builder. It's a great little piece of software. It makes it nice, and it reminds me of old family tree maker from years ago. A little more modern look to it, of course, but it's great for actually recording that family tree and keeping that info and recording it offline. It also updates to the MyHeritage site, so which is really good. Little further update to last week's live stream when I was talking about MyHeritage. Still waiting to hear back. I have sent off some of the questions that were asked, and I'm waiting to hear an answer. So I was sure it would be coming at some point. Okay. And again, I'm just waiting for this to load, and I'm going to show you, if you're not familiar with MyHeritage, with Wikitree, which is again a really great online, I want to call it a website, but it's actually a community of genealogists and family historians where you're working on a collaborative tree, and basically their goal is to have just one profile for every person, and try to have as many people and really link them together. It's a great site for attracting family members to come to the site and join in and share. It's a it's a really it's a great little site. It's fun. They have a great live stream every Saturday. I haven't been able to catch it a lot. Last week I caught it for the first time in a while, and even within that live stream, there's a great community of regulars, and a lot of shared inside jokes, etc. So let me just get this up here, and so this is what you're greeted with when you're a Wikitree user and you're coming on. Your main page has a really nice little kind of graphic here with your family tree. Great thing about Wikitree, it does keep anybody that's live generally private. You'll see it in your own view if they're on your if you're one of the trusted people so if you've created the link or possibly with a sibling or a grandparent that somebody else in your family had created. You'd be able to see their information if you're there as a trusted link. But otherwise, those things for any people that are living is kept private. And you can even set the privacy level of other people. So this is my family tree, my father, my mother, and then we have my father's parents, my mother's parents. Just one second here. I'm gonna bring up, excuse me, a nice little tool that I have. Just waiting for it to load so I can use it. Where is it here? Is it showing on here? It should be. Let me make sure that it is going to load. So I'm going to load it from here. There we go. So give me 1 second. I'm going to refresh this. So yeah, so here's just it's the little tool lets me draw on the website while I'm on a live stream. So also gives me a great little tool for magnifying things as well. So okay. So yeah, when you set up Linktree, you can set up all your connections here. The great thing is it has some great tools and some great plugins to get. I recommend people do get the plugins. It does help make things like creating these little charts. This is a chart from the 1931 census. This would be my grandmother's parents at the time and everybody who was living at that address. So it gives me kind of a neat little chart. And then anybody that I have linked there, I can actually go in and it'll link here. I can set the information for the parents. It'll set up their children, and you have great places to do your own biography in here. And as always, and it's really important, is here's all the different sources that I can use. You can include images. I can just look if I want to just look at any images I have of her. These are just a few that I've uploaded. This was her, I want to say, yeah, 94th birthday. She lived to be 99 and a half. Didn't quite make the Century Club. This is her and her sister. This would be her here and her sister. This was approximately 1927. This here again is her sister, and her uncle. And if I have any other things in here as well, if you have more images, you can also load sources in here as part of your images. So the great thing when you're on the profile, it has links to everybody. So if I'm looking for instance, I wanted to go to her spouse, my grandfather, it gives you information here about their relationship. They were married in 1943 on August 18th. And it gives me just a little highlight here, but I can click on it and actually bring it to the full page. Again, when I set up the biography and I set up table of contents there, I broken it down, giving it different headlines for different sections. And again, you have your sources here, which you can have them however you'd like. I have very specific ones here because I do actually have links to some websites. So I have those linked as the sources. If I look at images, and again, I don't have all my images and stuff loaded onto these sites, but these are just a few images that I've shared over the years, either in posts that they have on Wikitree, where you're answering a question a week, or sharing family photos. They have all kinds of different ones. So yeah, this is my post. This is a picture of him when he was in the military. Also has certain apps that are in here, which are really great. One of my favorites is actually the fan charts. They even have a fan chart game, which is kind of fun. But if I go to the fan chart, I can start it on him, and I can set it to many generations out that I want. I can start to see where I have places where I need to fill in. You'll notice that there's a few there. 10 is the maximum generations, but I have up to 10 generations on my grandmother's side and on my grandfather's side. Sorry, on his mother's side and his father's side. So 10 generations out from him. So that would be his, well, basically my 10th great grandparents. It would be his 8th great grandparents. Yeah, 8. I always have to double check on that. So it's yeah, so that's kind of neat. I can change all kinds of things. I do have information actually about more ancestors. I just don't have them included in here. Part of it is on Wikitree. I really want to make sure, since the desire is to have one profile for each person, I want to double check, triple check my sources to make sure, especially if it's I'm linking to a person that might already exist. There's a few neat settings here. One I like is I can go to colors, and I can actually change it so that I want to do location. So this would be, these would be changes to the locations. You'll see here, blue is United Kingdom, green is Scotland, and red is Canada. Anyone white is unknown. And that's just like in this case here, these unknown ones are specifically with this one here. I don't know. I believe she was born in Scotland. I just didn't have it because I didn't have a date of birth other than I had some information on her marriage certificate. Told me her age at the time of marriage. She was married in Scotland, and what pair she was from at the time, but it doesn't give me I haven't been able to verify on here. I haven't uploaded and updated her information and verified that she was born in Scotland. So that's why she's unknown in this case here. I wasn't sure if at that point she was in Canada already, or he was in Canada, or they would have been born in Scotland. The next generation was definitely born in Canada. So that's a little bit there on using a fan chart. Again, there's a lot of different apps that you can use. Again, it's really nice. You can go through this. My grandfather, all his siblings are here, so I can check on any of them. I can check on his father. I can check, his children. That would be my mother's sister who died in infancy, and my mom. And I also have links to his parents. Again, you just click on them and you can follow through and get all kinds of information, all kinds of things you can share in the images. You can also share any sources that you might have. This is actually the ship registry for when she arrived in Canada in 1905. If you watch my video about my great-grandmother's family secret, you'll learn a little bit about that trip. So this is just here because again, you can link the sources as well. The other thing is I have a profile. I actually do a Donkin, which is a small mining community my grandfather was born into and lived for the early part of his life before he got married. And it was a small mining village in Cape Breton. And so I'm working on a one-place study, which is basically I'm trying to fill in people that lived in that community. I started with the 1921 census because that was what was available for the most recent census when that was released. And it's actually probably in one of the peak periods of people living there. So, yeah. So this is WikiTree. Some people, they're a little leery about using it, but they're really, I stand by it because they really have you generally find you have better, more accurate records because there's a code of conduct or honor code which you need to follow for adding resources. One of the big things is to make sure that you have verified sources. In particular, when you're looking back, they only let you have to actually take some tests. So if you're going to link profiles that were pre-1700, as well as there's also a test for pre-1500 because just the records that were available. And they want to make sure people understand them and are reading them right and are actually accurately linking people. It's again a great website to use, and it's more than a website; it's a community. Speaking of which, they actually have their community. This is one of my favorite things. They have profiles of the week, and this week's profile was on twins. So they actually have links to different famous twins, and you can see any person. If you come to it, you'll be able to see the profiles that they're showing, and then the connections. So 18 degrees. If you've ever think of the idea of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, basically it's any actor can be connected to Kevin Bacon within six hops by connecting them. Like, for instance, Kevin Bacon was in Footloose. Then you have somebody else that was in Footloose and match them, and you'll eventually get to a match. They say within 6 for Kevin Bacon. This here is the same sort of thing. It takes the person that you're having in your profile, and it will connect to see how close they are. So Joe Hennessy from Law and Order, and she was a twin. She is 18 degrees from my great grandmother. And how it is, this doesn't mean that they're related. It just means that through connections. You'll see when it changes families, it does change color. So these here are all people that are in Joe Hennessy's family. Then you have a spouse, and then you have that spouse's family, and then you have a spouse again. So that's when you change colors, is when you're actually changing families, and it'll make that connection. If I went to my own profile, I would see the same thing at the bottom. again, so Jill Hennessy, I would expect that I would not be I would be 20 degrees because of my grandfather, and if because of my great grandmother rather, but and so she wouldn't be related any closer on my father's side. Kiefer Sutherland, who my great grandmother was 17 degrees from, I'm also 17 degrees from, which means that my connection would look like it would root through my father's side of the family, which does. So, and it's funny when you do these, you'll start seeing there's a few ancestors, and again, sometimes the profiles I've created or another person on Wikitree has created, that they have a lot of connections. So often there are these, I want to call them keystone ancestors that make you connect to multiple people. So yeah, let's just go. Actually, I was about to show you because I mentioned it being a community. They have this great community forum where they ask questions. Sometimes there's information about things that are going on. For instance, they have challenges regularly. So this is information related to that challenge. This here, translation of journal records. Somebody might be looking for help in getting something translated. And really, the communities, it's a worldwide community, and you do get help on those types of questions. I often see people answering. Okay. The other type of things too is if you go to the main Wikitree page, they generally have some information about what's going on. So you'll see here this connection. This is what I was talking about earlier. It's twins. I could go to that page and see what they have that there. Last week they had Summer Olympians, and you'll see different things. They have members of the week. You can go back and you can find out previous members of the week. They have a question of the week, which is always fun. So the question of the week: do you have any twins in your family tree? Last week's question was about minors. So this is a good, if you can go on that and see what people asked. So question of the week: do you have any? So you can see how many. There's over 7 pages of answer here. People have all kinds of answers, 140 answers. They'll have images sometimes connected. They'll have details. They'll link people to the profiles. And I love this, looking at especially some of the older pictures when they have questions. I love it when they have different questions about careers and occupations too, and getting to see some of that, the images of people and the work equipment. Yeah, they have really interesting questions. You'll find actually on my YouTube channel, I have a few shorts dedicated and a few other videos dedicated to answering their questions of the week I've done over time. I haven't done one in a while. I probably do one sometime shortly. Anyways, this is Wikitree. If you haven't used it, I really encourage you to use it. This is all the community is really great, and you can learn lots of things. And yeah, really neat. You can get some of these connection finder. I think are quite interesting. So Donald Sutherland. Let's see how close I am to Donald Sutherland. I can check my connection to him by well, first of all, I can check his connection. Look, Keith Sutherland, he's 1 degree from him. So let's see if I can check my connection to him. 1 second here. The connection finder. Oh yeah, there you can find information about the Sutherland. I'm just searching his family name and different places where he's listed. He's in different groups: Canadian Notables, New Brunswick Performing Artists, Academy Award winners, honorary recipients, Hollywood Walk of Fame, just a general actor one, featured connections in 2023. An example of a profile of the week, featured connections, Victoria College in Ontario. So different things that he's been tagged with. So for instance, if I go here, I'm probably going to be able to see profiles of people who went to Victoria College in Ontario. So you can find all kinds of neat links there because they're listed to categories. And I can even break it down, even as other categories up here, Ontario colleges and universities. So you can keep breaking it down to sub ones. I could go to Canadian colleges. Let's check Canadian colleges. So categories: Nova Scotia colleges and universities. There's 5 of them. King's College, Halifax, Nova Scotia. So I have profiles. There is 2, and I know of more profiles that should. So that's a great one to add to people. So this category contains persons affiliated with King's there. So I can, I can get this, and I can use this tag to add people. For instance, myself, I went there, so I would be a great person to use this link. So if I want to use this, and I'm going to go to my own profile, and I'm going to edit my profile. Now, when I you edit your profile and you have categories, your categories all go near the top. And so when I go and I'm going to save my profile now, it's wanting to know what I did. So basically, if anybody checks back the record and says, well, what did you update when you changed this? I can choose the category. In this case, it's simple. It's categorization because I'm choosing a category from here, type change. And I just tell it to commit changes. I can also save a draft, which is great. So now, if I go back to that, if I go to myself here, you're going to see the categories that I belong to. So King's College, Halifax, Nova Scotia. And there you go. Lo and behold, there I am. Again, there's a few other people I can think to add that to. This is John Hamm, the politician, not the actor. So when you search, this is actually a really new way they have of when you search people, which is really great. I can actually search and find out some information if I want to search by birth date. So Livingham. So that's probably one of them is there because he is still living. Now he would be, let's go and actually find a category. I'm going to do this here. Find a category. So I'm going to look for these are some basic top level categories. So if I go to categories, it again gives me some categories here where things are. So this is cemeteries. I can look up North American cemeteries. I'm not looking up cemeteries. I meant to click on categories. And I'm going to go to, let me see, maintenance categories, occupations, family, genealogy, health, unusual experiences, things. That's just one. Actually, I'm going to go to find. And I'm going to find, and I'm going to search. Now this is where I was searching a person, but I can search any text. So I'm going to search categories. I'm going to look for Nova Scotia. So I'm going to look for Nova Scotia, and I'm actually going to look for does it have Premier? Okay. Canadian politicians. Okay. So I'm going to look up Nova Scotia politicians. And look at that, John Nash. That's actually my third great grandfather. Members of the Legislative Assembly, Nova Scotia Mayor, Nova Scotia Premiers. So there we go. We have John Ham. Now, I don't actually have the ability to edit him because I'm not one of his trusted, the person who set this trusted people. I am part of the Canada group, so I do have some ability to make some changes, but let's just see. I don't think I have the ability to edit him. No, I don't. It's just because I'm not. I don't have edit responsibility for this particular category. It's very interesting though. He went to University King's College. The premier before him went to University King's College, and not the next premier after him, but the one after that, Daryl Dexter, he also went to University of King's College. Ryan McDonough, really interesting. He is a world-renowned fiddle player, and now he's retired from politics. And if you look at him, he is quite young. He's younger than myself. He is the president of the Gaelic College in St. Anne's, Nova Scotia, which is in Cape Breton. So again, it has profiles on him there. But yeah, he's a fiddle player. So let's see, do they actually have that in his categories? Canada Teachers, Members of the Assembly, Nova Scotia Premiers, Project Notables, Fiddlers. He have him listed as a fiddler, which is kind of neat. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to wrap up here. It's almost 45 minutes, so really didn't get any questions in today, and I'm not sure what's going on with my stream because the last few streams have been quite active, and this one was dead. So I'm going to leave us now, and I'm going to start with my last call. So what I usually do when I have last call, I ring the bell. And play my last call. So this is last call for questions.
Last call! Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar.
Okay. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them. If you don't, I'm going to sign off very shortly. And I'm hoping everybody is able to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar. Oh.
Okay, so everybody, thank you very much for watching. I don't have any questions. I don't see anybody jumping into the chat right now. Well, you have yourself a great day, and until next time, I want to say
things change. Farewell, farewell, my friend. Things change. Farewell, my friend. Farewells, they're not